Welcome back to the channel, guys. We got another video for you. Got a lot of comments on my epoxy primer and Bondo video, so we're gonna take it a little step further and do some different things with the epoxy and use some different Bondos and see which one works the best. So here's what we got here. We got this old fender. We're gonna take a DA with some 80 grit. It always seems to work the best. And we're gonna zip it down to bare metal, and we're gonna put some epoxy primer on it. All right, here's what we got. Got a little strip, just a little strip right here that we DA down with 80 grit to bare metal. We're gonna mix up some epoxy primer and shoot them. Here's what we got, guys. This is what we primed yesterday. I separated it into 4 different segments, and here's what we're gonna try. We got some generic Bondo from Walmart. Evercoat, just the cheaper lightweight version. 3M Platinum Select. And then the Rage Gold. And what I'm gonna do, since this is still open, this epoxy primer is still open, I'm gonna do a wipe in each section from each of the Bondos, and then I'm gonna let this epoxy primer time out, and then I'm gonna do another wipe, and then we're gonna test the adhesion on, you know, whether it's still open or chemical adhesion versus it being timed out, and we're gonna see which one's better. For the first section, we got the Bondo from Walmart. I'm just gonna go ahead and mix some up and apply it. You guys don't need to sit here and watch all that. All right, first section is done. That's the Bondo from Walmart. The next section, we're gonna use the Evercoat lightweight. We'll go ahead and mix that up and put a little bit on there. All right, we got our Evercoat lightweight on this one. Next up is the Rage Gold. All right, we got our Rage Gold. Up next, the 3M. Quick recap, guys. I got them all labeled. This is the Bondo I got from Walmart. This is just the Evercoat lightweight. This is the Evercoat Rage Gold, and this is the 3M Platinum Select. And all we're trying to test on this is how each of these Bondos adhere to the epoxy primer, and we're going to test it one day. So this is the next day versus after the epoxy primer times out. And what I mean by that is every epoxy primer has a window so you can achieve a chemical adhesion. And this particular epoxy primer, you have about 4 days. So I'm gonna give this about 4 days, and then I'm gonna come back with the same Bondo and wipe them on each of these, and then we're gonna do a destruction test and see how it plays out. So stick around. All right, guys, we're back. It's been 1 week, so it's been 7 days. I know this particular epoxy says after 4, you must mechanically abrade it. And it says fully cured after 7 days. So it's been 7, and we're not gonna mechanically abrade it. We're just gonna wipe the Bondo on there right next to the other one and see what happens. Got the first one on. That's the just a generic Bondo from Walmart. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe the other ones and then show you what we got after that. I don't see the need in boring you guys with 5 minutes of me wiping Bondo on this thing. All right, we got them all wiped. Just a little quick recap. This one's still drying. We got our 3M Platinum Select after 1 day, after 7 days. Got the Rage Gold after the day after versus 7 days. The Evercoat lightweight, 1 day, 7 days. And then the 3M Bondo from Walmart, next day, 7 days. So I'm gonna let these Bondos cure a little bit. It's a little cold right now, so I'm gonna let them sit here for probably about an hour or so, and then we're gonna do a little good destruction test, see what happens. It was a little cold yesterday, so what I decided to do, I gave the Bondo overnight to just get cured out. And now we're gonna do a destruction test and see some results. All right, guys, I think I've done enough destruction on this to give me some results. Let's review and see what we got. This is the 3M Bondo from Walmart. It stuck on both. All of them did. I'm actually amazed. I wonder if it has something to do with the 80 grit scratches, you know, beneath the epoxy, giving it some sort of mechanical adhesion, because this is fully cured epoxy. No scuffs on the epoxy whatsoever, fully cured, and every Bondo that I tried stuck very well, surprisingly well. Matter of fact, the only way I can get any sort of Bondo coming off is when I hit it really hard from the backside. I mean, the Bondo's gonna crack if you hit it like that. That's not what we're here for. But every one of these that I tried with the screwdriver and hammer, nothing just flaked off and failed. I mean, all of them, down to the cheapest Bondo. I mean, I even hit it, you know, on the edges, and it does not come up. I mean, you know, even on the edges, where I would think it would flake off, but they don't. If this doesn't prove that body filler adheres to epoxy primer, I don't know what does. I can't say enough, guys. I'm blown away by these results. I really thought something was going to fail, especially after the 7 days cured, but it didn't. So yeah, if you're out there and you're worried about your epoxy primer and your body filler sticking to it, I mean, it's always good to scuff it if you're timed out, but guys, don't be scared to put epoxy down first. This is great, and it goes to show you that all these brands of body filler will work. One last test, guys. I had a coworker of mine bring up a very good point. Instead of just beating it, why don't we try to feather it down and see if it ravels off? Well, so I took a DA and ran around to each one of them on some of these edges, and they all feathered off nicely, right with the epoxy primer. So that was a good point. You know, what if we DA'd it down and it started, you know, raveling off, and then it's definitely not stuck. But instead of just beating the crap out of it, put it in a real life scenario and see if it feathers out. And they all did. I only got one thing to say, and that's wow. I had no idea that the body fillers would stick to a fully cured epoxy primer without any mechanical abrasion. Now, I'm not saying that's a recommended practice, but it seems to stick. So, I mean, I'll scuff it after it's cured. I mean, that's what the data sheet says, so that's what I'm gonna follow. But wow, I mean, I thought for sure something was gonna fail, and nothing did. So guys, we got more videos to come. Please subscribe to my channel. And comment and let me know what body fillers you want me to try, or if there's anything you'd like me to test. I'm open for suggestions. I like to learn new things all the time. So if you want to see something from me, let me know. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching.